let's start off with a little dance music. You know, this is one of my favorite songs of mine, which is funny because Mark Dan hates it, but I really like this song, and I've always felt kind of sad that I never could get any like a Louisiana type group to record it. I'd really like to. I think it would be a great song for those guys. But you know, it's very hard to get stuff recorded these days. You have to, I don't know, probably be somebody's relative to even get in the door. Remember when there was that first dance in school? The boys lined up on one side of the room, all the girls lined up on the other side of the room. Everybody trying to play it cool. And there was Zydeco. Oh, I just wanna dance all night to Zydeco. Come on, baby, let me swing you to and fro. I just wanna dance all night with you. Now the river's flowing steady through the night and the day. I feel my life drifting out to sea. But I can feel my woman's love flowing into me. I know tonight we'll dance the night away. Yeah, to Zydeco. Oh, I just wanna dance all night to Zydeco. Come on, baby, let me swing you to and fro. I just wanna dance all night with you. Sometime they're coming into all the fight and the pain. Sometime we're gonna follow the sun. Sometime there'll be a world where all the hatred is gone. We'll dance to that sweet song again. Dance to Zydeco. Oh, I just wanna dance all night to Zydeco. Come on, baby, let me swing you to and fro. I just wanna dance all night with you. Dance to Zydeco. Oh, I just wanna dance all night to Zydeco. Come on, baby, let me swing you to and fro. I just wanna dance all night with you. Zydeco. Oh, I just wanna dance all night to Zydeco. Come on, baby, let me swing you to and fro. I just wanna dance all night with you. Oh, I just want to dance all night with you. Well, that's my sound check. I'm going to cruise over to the Facebook page for a second and see if there's any comments there about how it sounds. I tune at the right time. Zydeco, hi Katrina, hi Stephen. Stephen Minotti, my gosh, good to see you, my friend. Nice to see you. How you doing? Why one of our better local guys down here in South Florida, singer-songwriter on his own. Nice to see you, Stephen. Well, somebody do me a favor and write me a note in the comments in the Facebook page and tell me if it sounds okay. We reset everything last week, and I remembered the settings and put them in place for this week, so it should be good. I'm sure hoping it is. Sounds great. Well, thank you, Stephen. All right. Well, I started off last week with one of my favorite songs to sing around this time of year, probably. And let me see if I can. I guess that would be the better way to go, huh? Yeah, there we are. I wrote this song years ago during a period of time when I was living in Italy, and was kind of soaking up the history around me. And in particular, I was living in a town that had been a major outpost of the Roman Empire with about 200,000 people. Big slave trading capital, I would bet, and also big ceramics. And it was completely forgotten. It was destroyed and burned to the ground by Attila the Hun. And then about 1980 or 80, in the late 1980s, just before I was there, they discovered kind of by accident the ruins of some old buildings buried deep in the ground. And they started digging around. By that time, it was only about 600 people living there. And they discovered the ruins of a huge city there, baths and the old Roman baths, meeting halls and counting halls and storage places for commodities like grain and food and housing for something like 200,000 people had lived in that spot. I don't know if people were shocked or if like Atlantis, they went, of course, we always knew they were there, but didn't really have any evidence of it. But while I was there, I just kind of had this song visit me from the cosmos passing by and wrote it down. I want to play it again because last week I started off with it and the sound was so wretched that I left it completely out of the archive. As a galley slave, I was given a name that had nothing to do with my own, and learned to give twice from my bed at night, and again when the morning had come. And there was an old one among us, whose eyes seemed fixed on afar. I remember the night he stood watching that light from that most brilliant star, and then breaking his chains in a frenzy and stealing a sword from a guard, he said, "Show me the way to Calvary, or I'll kill you right where you are." Now I who care nothing for politics or for the meaning of the stars in the sky, I said, "Gather that key up and free me, and I'll fight by your side till I die." We didn't know then that the firstborn were being slaughtered in Palestine, as we murdered our way to a lifeboat and set into the dark maritime. After 3 days we landed in mountains. I said, "What shall we eat as free men?" He said, "Show me the way to Calvary, and you'll never go hungry." hungry again. We passed that first winter in the mountains, huddled like wolves in a cave, as the snow formed its blanket of silence. I swore I'd no more be her slave, but he heard all my boastful speeches by the side of our pitiful fire. But his ears always seemed to be listening to the music he heard somewhere high. And to me, who knew nothing of wise men, who believe in no God you can't see, he said, show me the way to Calvary, and no chains will ever hold thee. Now I is a young man of passion, and him an old man nearly blind. I'd have left him to fend for his own self, except for that promise of mine. Then we abandoned our mountain shelter for the long walk to Palestine, till I came back and found him a-dying, and me standing with blankets and wine. And with a grip of iron he held me, so close I could see through his eyes. He said, show me the way to Calvary, and we'll meet again in paradise. It was many years later I stood there, the last of my line to survive, and I watched him climb up that mountain with my own eyes barely alive. And they hung him right there in that sunlight, and they wrapped up his body in white. And I heard that old man there beside me as I cried all the day and the night. Yeah, you with your young years before you, you must see for these old eyes of mine. Oh, show me the way to Calvary. I've come to the end of the line. Okay, that's on Highway to Nowhere, my first Shanachie CD. Kind of out of print these days. Hello, Rona Nina, Mike Naylor. Good to see you guys. All right. Well, as usual, I don't have much of a set list. I'm going to just kind of wing a few tunes here. Well, I thought I'd sing this for you guys. This one is was released as a single with a video a couple of years ago, and it's, of course, um, been seen probably by 30 or 40 people by now on YouTube. But I had to do a lecture this past week on Johnny Mathis and Celine Dion. And it struck me how beautiful a version of this could be by Johnny Mathis. I mean, the guy's 88 years old and he still sings better than anybody else on the planet, practically. Lengthy intro. Let's have an old-fashioned Christmas with church bells in the village square, choir singing carols by the glow of candles in the frosty air. There's snow everywhere and we'll go to town on Christmas morning. Santa's sure to bring a smile. Let's have an old-fashioned Christmas that never goes out of style. Let's have an old-fashioned Christmas with all good children everywhere, snuggling underneath the deep warm blankets, keeping reindeer in their prayers. And down the stairs you're sure to find on Christmas morning presents underneath the tree. But let's have an old-fashioned Christmas like the ones that used to be. Let's have an old-fashioned Christmas, chestnuts roasting on the fire, loved ones gathering around the table, grateful for blessings from on high. And by we'll find ourselves some mistletoe, look into each other's eyes and smile. Oh, let's have an old-fashioned Christmas. It never goes out of style. Let's have an old-fashioned Christmas, the kind money just can't buy. Peace on earth, goodwill to men, women and children, amen. Say it again and have yourself a merry, merry Christmas. May all your wishes come true. Let's have an old-fashioned Christmas to last the whole year through. Well, let's have an old-fashioned Christmas to last the whole year through. All right, a little Christmas music for you guys. Well, every now and then I got to go over and look at the Facebook page and make sure we're actually still here. David Jacobs. Well, let me see. I'll see if I can do that for you. I'm gonna cheat a little bit and put the words in front of me because I have not sung that song a lot live. Though I don't know why, because I actually like it. But the thing is, when I get out there doing concerts, I have, a limited amount of time and a lot of songs. But sure. I wrote this song in France in the summer of 2018, I think. I was there with some friends, Rex Blazer plays fiddle with me here in South Florida, and also my longtime friend Joe Verga, who passed away about a year and a half ago, a couple of years ago, January 2022, I think, although it could be longer. And Joe and I were very good friends, and Joe really listened. And so we sat down one night and I said, Joe, I'm working on a new song. And how about I play it for you? And I played it for him, and he would react to almost every line. He would kind of go like, yeah, that was good. No. And I ended up kind of moving some stuff around and rewriting some things and adding a couple things. And did we just freeze up on Facebook? Is that what just happened? Oh, great. I'm looking at Facebook and it just froze up. There we are. I should check YouTube and make sure that's still working too while I'm at it. Looks like it is. Okay. Well, anyway, you folks on Facebook, you may have missed the intro to this song, but fortunately you didn't miss the song. At least I don't think so. Hey, I'm the guy who was always gonna be someone. And I'm the guy who always knew which way to go. And I'm the guy who is always gonna take a stand. Oh, but all I am is the king of tomorrow. Hey, I'm the guy who is gonna show you how it's done. And I'm the guy who knew all there was to know. And I'm the guy who is always there to make you smile. Oh, but all the while, I'm the king of tomorrow. And if tomorrow never comes, I'll keep on learning today to give you all my love in every way. 'Cause I'm the guy who tried every trick under the sun. And I'm the guy who couldn't wait to make it slow. And I'm the guy who didn't get a thing done today. Yeah, but that's okay. I'm the king of tomorrow. Hey, I'm the guy who'd give you everything that you desire. And I'm the guy who's always dreamed more than you know. And I'm the guy who didn't set the world on fire today. Yeah, but that's okay. I'm the king of tomorrow. And I'm the guy who always knew the best was yet to come. And I'm the guy who never heard that lonesome whistle blow. And I'm the guy who will never give up this fight. Yeah, but that's alright. I'm the king of tomorrow. Yeah, but that's alright. I'm the king of tomorrow. There you go, David. All of it. The FM version of that one there. All right, let's check in on Facebook, make sure we're still there. We are. Good. I just got to see myself drink a glass of water twice. Once on my input and once on Facebook. Oh, good. Well, here's one for Steve Minotti. Steve and I are Floridians, and Florida, of course, is our third largest state, and as a result, our governor is a national candidate for president. I wish I could say this song is only about him, but it really isn't. It's certainly goes way beyond the problematic person that is our governor. But I had a really fun time this summer making a video with my kids of this song. Elliot playing bass and Elena playing drums. You can find it on YouTube if you like. Please, don't let me make you uncomfortable by mentioning slavery, Jim Crow, Memphis, night riders and lynch mob justice, James Meredith and John Lewis, though they're all real, but please, don't let me make you uncomfortable by mentioning gay men and lesbian women, transgender, non-binary humans, and drag queens are American citizens, just like you and I know. It's gonna make you uncomfortable. It must be pounding in your head. You wanna pass a law to silence it. Why don't you free your mind instead? Please, let me make you uncomfortable when I say that free choice and black history, equal justice and true diversity means so much more to me than Christian fascism or white supremacy. And I know it's gonna make you uncomfortable. It must be pounding in your head. You wanna pass a law to silence me. You gotta free your mind instead. Please, let me make you uncomfortable when I say that nobody's buying what you're selling. They don't believe in the lies you're telling. They don't care how loud you're yelling. It's you who's got to change. So please, let me make you uncomfortable. Please, let me make you uncomfortable. Here you go. Well, let me switch guitars for a minute. My friend Mike Riley's on board, I believe, today. And since it's Christmas, and I celebrate Christmas. Our family does. Always have. I've always liked it. Most of you who know me know I'm not particularly a religious person, but I am a I think somewhat spiritual person in the sense that I have a belief system, and part of my belief system is that whatever religion people are practicing, if they're doing it with devotion and tolerance for other religions, you have my support. I think there's a value in all forms of non-destructive, anyway, worship. And though I wouldn't, I think it would be hypocritical for me to say that I am a devout Christian or certainly not born again or evangelical. I do believe that the message of Christmas, of brotherhood and respect and love for your fellow man it's worth celebrating. And then, of course, there's all those presents underneath the tree. So here's a little present for you, Mike, if I can remember all the words. Whoa, let's not play that note. Let's Let's do that one at the ending again. I see spaces on the shelves where her books used to mingle with mine. And the lilies hanging down on the table where we used to dine. As I sweep up the coffee cups and our last bottle of wine, now she's gone. So long, love. Oh, I always thought this apartment too small to believe, but we filled it with love and tried to let each other be. Now it's too big and empty and too full of memories. Now she's gone. So long, love. Wow, I'm making a mess of this. Let's do that again. So I sweep up the coffee cups and take down the pictures you hung, and try not to think about the time when our love was young. I never thought it would end. I thought we'd always be one. Now she's gone. So long, love. Today I passed by a garden and remembered those flowers you grow, and all of the places where I wanted us to go. Then I went back and cleaned out the last of your abandoned clothes. Now she's gone. So long, love. Now she's gone. So long, love. Well, I'm pretty rusty on that one, but then I never actually put that one out as a recording. It's on one of my archival bootleg CDs. Speaking of which, I'm in the midst of some... Oh, no sound? Is that true? No sound? No, I hope that's not true. Speaking of which, I have been working on a new archival album that's going to be very interesting. I spent a lot of time hanging out in Chicago in the mid and late 1970s and into the 80s. I had a a fellow there that is probably the closest thing that I've ever had to a big brother. A gentleman named Mike, and just in case he prefers to be anonymous, I won't say his last name, although you may know what it is anyway. But his son Dan called me up about a year ago, and he said that he had found a bunch of reel-to-reel tapes that I had made in an empty room at the house. I don't even really remember that much of it. I think it probably was over several months, judging by the songs. I kind of remember when I wrote most of the songs. But I'm getting it together, and it has the original version of Sailor's Prayer on it and some other songs that are, I don't even remember writing some of them. They're just songs that appeared there. I probably wrote them, sang them a couple times, and then forgot all about them. But I hear them now, and they interest me. They're naive, and I'm singing way up high in my range, but I think they kind of intrigue me just by the fact that they exist and they've been found. So sometime in the next couple of months, I'm hoping I'll have that out and it'll be on my website. I hope it'll interest at least a handful of fans. Well, I wanted to play this one tonight. Here's a song from Highway to Nowhere. In fact, I'm going to do a couple from Highway to Nowhere, which is my first Shanachie album back in 1992. In the land of the dead I walked as I traveled on alone. There was a pavilion out in the center of the green expanse of lawn. Clumps of flowers poking up where the bodies lay asleep. And there I lay with bright flowers over me. I parked my car, I went walking beside the old stone wall. The crowd had gathered to witness this fine harvest of falls. The blackest of clothes, the wettest of tears were in evidence, as I lay awaiting my eternal recompense. But you say we have loved before, always will and evermore. Now in another time and place, love is our saving grace. Fear not, cried he whose job it is to laugh in fear's face. Weep not, wept she who promised our God to a higher place. Farewell, sang she, a sparrow flying from tree to tree. Remember, said the rain, as it fell down on me. You say we have loved before, always will and evermore. Now in another time and place, love is our saving grace. Now, my love, we meet again, bright bouquets in our hands. Therein love, therein wisdom, therein freedom in our lands. I'm captured by your beauty like I always knew I'd be. I bathe myself in flowers and I lie down next to thee. You say we have loved before, always will and evermore. Now in another time and place, love saving grace. All right. Well, let's do one from Rants and Romance for you guys. In fact, let's do this. Here's one of my favorite songs from the new CD. The new CD has a lot of political songs on it, but actually, I like them. I think they're good songs. But I don't know. This is one of the songs that really sticks with me the most. You wouldn't guess it, but I miss you so. You seem so far away, and even though we barely speak when we're both there, I miss you here and everywhere. It's late at night and I'm somewhere else. You're asleep and the story tells a man whose world is crystal clear. I miss you here and everywhere. Over the mountain on virgin snow, along the cliffs where the seabirds go, across the distance, you're still so near. I miss you here and everywhere. How can I tell you what I feel? The words serve only to conceal. I lack the courage to declare I miss you here and everywhere. The wind howls outside, the rain is gone. The smell of dead leaves remains strong. The seasons burn and love is rare. I miss you here and everywhere. I miss you here and everywhere. I miss you here and everywhere. New song from Ransom Romance. Well, let's make a couple quick announcements. If you're here in South Florida, I'm playing the Brewhouse Gallery on December 29. If you're in the New York City area, I'll be at the People's Voice Cafe, February 17, and in Piermont, New York, at the Turning Point on February 18. Those are with Mark Dan. I'm also currently booking a tour in the Northeast and a few gigs on the way up and back in the Southeast. For example, we're confirmed May 18th in Ithaca, New York, May 19th in Stony Brook for the Dylan Fest, and there's a house concert June 2nd, and then June 8th, confirmed down here in Bluffton, South Carolina, and a few other things along the way. So if you can make it to any of those, or you would like to know more about them, go to rodmacdonald.com. You can also get any of my recordings there if you want to do that. You can find most of them, not the archival ones probably, but you can find my commercial recordings on Spotify and Pandora and all of those places. Apple Tunes and iTunes and whatever they all are. I'm not a very tech social media guy. I can barely figure out how to get Facebook to run my stream here. But so far, so good. The January Greenwich Village Folk Festival is coming up January 7, and this coming month's concert is going to be orchestrated and is being set up by Christine Lavin. I'm the co-producer officially of the event, but Christine is really asking people to play because she has, if you've followed it at all, has put out this project called The Seasons. I had it here. Now it's buried on my desk. Oh, I think it looks like this. It's comes in a box. Comes in a box that looks like this. Somewhere on my table here is a USB drive, and it has 80 songs from the 4 CDs that Christine produced for Rounder Records, and each of the 4 CDs, it has a seasonal theme. And on January 7, about a dozen of the artists are going to sing some of their songs. I know David Roth and Christine herself, and I'm also in the show, and Judy Cass, I believe, and I'm not really sure who the list is, but I'm sure it's going to be really good. And that'll be January 7 at 7 p.m. on the Greenwich Village Folk Festival channels on YouTube and Facebook. And if we're lucky, we'll get it running on our website too. I thought I'd sing the song from the Seasons Project for you guys tonight. When you decide to return again to the land that raised you, you find yourself traveling back to your New England home, and you're passing through. You run into somebody I used to know. Tell her I've been thinking about it in the coming of the snow. If you're standing on the pier by the empty harbor, and the fishing boats are lying quiet until the spring, and you need a fire to sit beside while the winter weaves out its cloak, tell her I've been thinking about it in the coming of the snow. And if you awaken with her long hair spread across your shoulder, and the day outside is as dark as her eyes, take care to hold her close into the morning, and she will be true to you if you love her more than I. If you're traveling in the woods, I used to walk along, and you find her out there, standing in the falling leaves, and a chill should pass through the arms that cradle her longing. You know that you can take her hand one more time for me. When you decide to return again to the land that raised you, you find yourself traveling back to your New England home. And you're passing through, you run into somebody I used to know. Tell her I've been thinking about her in the coming of the snow. Tell her I've been thinking about her in the coming of the snow. Well, speaking of the holiday, Christmas, I went through a period of my life when I was a fairly young man, of believing that it was an empty holiday, that it was all flash and no substance, and that pretty much summed up my attitude about faith at the time too. I was very intolerant of anybody else's beliefs, I think, and at some point, I wrote this song. Just came downstairs one morning and wrote it. And a few months later, I sang it as an encore in a club, in a place where I had been singing all cover tunes all night long. And I figured, if you're going to give me an encore, I'm going to sing one of my own songs for you. And I sang it, and a man walked up to me in a fog. And he looked at me and he said, "You wrote that song?" And I said, "Yep." And he said, "You got to read this book." And he handed me the biography of Frank Foolscrow, the Sioux medicine healer who's on the cover of my White Buffalo CD. And I read it, and it began the process of turning me around. I particularly liked several of the things he said, one of which was, "There's nothing in the gospel of Jesus Christ that contradicts what I know to be true as an idiot." I thought that was a brilliant statement. Still do. And so with that in mind, I don't know if this is a Christmas song, but whatever your particular belief system is, I hope that you will find this a welcome addition to it. They say you've got to lose before you can win. They say you've got to choose before you can give in. And you've got to cut loose to get back again. And it's a long way back home. They say you've got to fall before you can land. They say you've got to crawl before you can stand. And you've got to lose it all to get what you planned. And it's a long way back home. And it's a long way back home. When you're standing on some place you've never known. And I might see you where the rivers flow, like me, oh, looking for a white buffalo. They say you've got to die before you can live. They say you've got to cry before you can give. And you've got to say goodbye before you can come back in. And it's a long way back home. They say you've got to seed what you're going to grow. They say you've got to need what you're going to let go. And you've got to believe what you're going to know. And it's a long way back home. And it's a long way back home. When you're standing on some place you've never known. That I might see you where the rivers flow, like me, oh, looking for a white buffalo. So I say to you farewell, for we will meet again in the hottest flames of hell. I could only call you friend. And when you hear that final bell, do not ask who's round your end till you found your way back home. And it's a long way back home. When you're standing on some place you've never known. And I might see you where the rivers flow, like me, oh, looking like me, you're looking, you're just like me, you're Yeah, you're just like me. You're the king. Oh, you're just like me. You're the king. For white buffalo. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's a little past 9 o'clock, and my daughter Elena has one of her midterms tomorrow morning, bright and early. So I'm going to sign off and get the house a little quiet. Thank you so much for listening to me tonight and joining me. It's been a pleasure singing for you, and I wish each and every one of you a wonderful Christmas, or if you've been celebrating Hanukkah, I hope it's been a great time and a good season for us all to be a little kinder to each other and spread the love. That's my message for you. And happy holidays. I'll see you soon, and good night.